Brian Palavar Run Far here with Anna Frost before the 2016 Hardrock 100. How are you, Anna?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
We're up here in Silverton before the race. You're back. You won last year.
Mm-hmm.
What brings you back this year?
Well, I think it's just it's more than just a race. It's this is the mountains, it's the people here, it's a family. Like I said last year, when you learn about Hardrock, it doesn't just go into your mind, it goes into your blood, into your bones, into everything. It's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come here at this time of year and you get ready to train, you're not the only one that this is the way of life. You know, there's lots of other people that come and camp in the mountains and live in the mountains and make it part of their daily routine. So for me, it's very hard to walk away from something that's so much ingrained into your way of life.
Mm-hmm. You came over to the San Juans a little later than last year, but you've still been here for quite a while. How long have you been up?
I guess it's a month now.
Yeah.
It's in a month. So plenty of time to acclimatize, plenty of time to see the course. There's nowhere near as much snow this year, so we've been able to do some really great loops on and off the course to explore a little bit more. So yeah, it feels good to be back here and feel acclimatized, so it's a huge part of it.
Now, last year, you were maybe in a little stronger shape earlier on. Because you've raced Transvolcania and Madeira, and they've been okay for you. I mean, they're not quite up to some of your standards, but you've been here for a month training. How do you feel like your fitness is?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm definitely training and racing differently this year, with a different focus and just with more pleasure and enjoyment. And it's definitely been harder mentally to get the training in this year. But I'm still happy with what I've been able to get in. I've had some really long days, some consistently long days. It's nothing, I don't think there's anything magical about it. It's just really pulling it together on the day. And I think in terms of fitness, I'm fit enough. I respect this race. I respect these mountains. It still scares the heck out of me. So yeah, you just have to kind of go with it with a lot of respect and hope that the mountains give you that back.
Now, one thing I've seen you've been able to do for quite some years is no matter what the distance or race, you're good at cramming for a race. And you've done that this past couple weeks. How many kilometers have you run in the last few days?
Oh yeah, I have no idea, but it's a lot. Yeah, I think probably I've been averaging between 100 and 120 miles per week for the last 4 weeks. Before that I was in Madeira racing, so had a week off. Before that I was walking around Rome. Before that I was walking around Venice. So yeah, I definitely do tend to cram. But it's been maybe 4 or 5 years that I've done that, where I've really known that I can take 6 weeks. I can really push my body to the limit, and at the end of that 6 weeks I'm tired, I'm ready for taper, and it gets me in a good place. And it takes away a lot of pressure and stress for a 12-week build-up, or even more build-up. Maybe I'm not very disciplined when it comes to that, or I'm too impatient, or I'm not focused enough just to be like, okay, I'm going to spend the next 4 months focusing on one thing. So for me to have like a 6-week project is a lot easier.
And have you found, seems like you've always been able to get in that real cram period and then recover. I mean, you do give yourself 10 or so days.
Yeah, so usually before 100 it's like 10 to 12 days, and before 50 it's 6 or 7 days. And for me it seems to be enough. I really feel like my body wants to keep moving. Like I've never really taken rest days, even when I was training properly. So I think, just to keep moving, and in those weeks definitely to take the recovery, but still do some intensities or some steep ups and downs just to keep the legs moving. It seems to work. Yeah.
Have you approached, either in training or heading into the race itself, will you approach anything differently this year than last year?
I don't think so. I think I'll just stick to it. I mean, this year I've just done the long miles again. I've probably stayed at altitude just as much. Done about the same miles, maybe even more actual miles this year, because we've been able to do loops without the snow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a pretty simple, basic person. I can eat the same salad every single day, and it seems.
I've witnessed that.
Yeah, exactly.
So nothing you tweak even in the race. You're pretty similar.
I mean, this year I'm definitely going to start eating caffeine earlier, because I probably left it a little late last year and I needed to sleep. Whether that was because I was really cold, a little bit hypothermic, that I was really hungry, I'm not sure.
So that was up mostly in like Wasatch Basin before Oscar's Pass.
Yeah, it was
maybe
like
20 miles
kind
ago.
of midnight when it was really cold. We were up in the snow up to my knees, and it was just maybe I needed more clothes as well. So I think this year, as I head off into the night, I'll definitely take a puffy jacket even, and just some more caffeine, have a drink of coffee before I go. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that works.
Yeah. Now, last year, you showed a lot of fire late in the race. I mean, you kind of did your own thing for a while, and you had your highs and lows, but seeing Darcy on Grant Swamp Pass, you kicked it into overdrive. Do you feel you had that same burn,
I mean,
spark
it was
this year?
Definitely in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what I drew on. And I would say it would be the same for Darcy. On those last 30 miles, we both gave each other an hour's gap. We gave and took it again, and it wasn't. I wasn't necessarily thinking, okay, I'm going to chase Darcy down. It's just like you're in this deep dark place and you have to get out of there, and you're like, right, I need to go right now. And so it was a great place to be. Obviously, I will try and get to the finish as quick as I can.
Yeah.
But purely to get to the finish as quick as I can. I just don't want to be out there longer than I have to be. So whatever that takes, I'll do. But I'm extremely open for that being either a 27-hour record or a 37-hour finish. For me, this race it's about getting to the finish. It's a personal challenge. If you go out on 100 miles racing someone, you're probably going to end up in the gutter really early, because you go somewhere that, you're out there for over a day. Like, you can't be going at someone else's pace for a day. You need to be really focusing on yourself and doing what you can do to get through it. So.
And this year is interesting. It's probably the strongest women's field this race has ever seen. It's a small race, so it's not huge, but you and hopefully Darcy's back. She's on the wait list right now.
Yeah.
Emma Roca, Bethany Lewis. So.
It's going to be really good. I'm really excited, and I think that's the thing about these races is that maybe some people think, oh yeah, but they're not that fast, but I'm sure that they're an ox, and I always say with the oxes, they're the ones that potentially are going to have the highest chance of winning, because they're just strong and consistent the whole way through. Yeah. And so you see a lot of that at Hardrock. You have a lot of oxes in this race.
Totally. Now you mentioned, if running your fastest finish turns out to be 37 hours, have you ever had that experience where you've had in an ultra where things just go wrong and then you still push through to that finish where it's totally off your placing and your pacing? And
sure. And like Transvolcania this year, I was an hour slower than my record time, but I never at any point thought about pulling out. It wasn't an option, and it's not an option at Hardrock either. It's if I finish in 37 hours, I'll still be just as happy, because it's Hardrock and I've finished, and it's one of the hardest 100-mile races in the world. I'm going to be pretty happy to get that done. And it's part of running. We're gonna have bad races, and if you can't accept that, then you're not really accepting being an ultra runner. So for me, it's just the same.
Now, on the other hand, you mentioned 27 hours. Do you feel like if you had so many variables at Hardrock, obviously,
sure.
But if you had a good day, do you feel you're in a place where you could challenge that course record?
I'm not really sure I'm the same animal as Diana Finkel. I don't know if anyone is. I don't know if we're going to see a performance like she put on. I hope that her time will get beaten, because that's what a record's there for. I don't know if it will be me, but I know it will be someone, but I don't know if we'll ever see someone that ran as magically as her. But if I have a magical day, then I'll take it. I'll definitely take it.
If you're out at Maggie Gulch and you're like, this is possible. You know what the record is. It's in your head. If
I'm feeling okay and I can see that it's there, I'll go for it. Sure, absolutely. That's what they're there for.
Totally.
But I'm not sure if I'm quite there.
Now you have one returning pacer from last year.
Yeah, Skaggs.
Skaggs.
Yeah.
So
he'll be great. Yeah, he was amazing last year. He's just got that competitive streak in him, so he was able to say, okay, we have to go now, it's never. And between him and then Braz on my final pace for last year, I had something like 10 caffeine gels and a litre of Coke, just to get me through that final section. So, I mean, absolutely without Skaggs earlier on in the race keeping me going up and over through the snow at midnight, I mean, I would have frozen to death up there.
So Skaggs is back, and who else is
and Dakota Jones.
And Dakota.
So, yeah, it's a little dream team. Yeah, it's going to be really great. I'm pretty sure they're going to sing songs or play music or do something strange the whole way.
And a dream team, and like, they're awesome runners in their own right, but they're also like your friends, and they know the race.
Exactly. And they know the course really well, so you have no stresses about going wrong in kind of the nighttime or the little bit complicated areas. And it's just great to share that with them, because really it's not, I mean, racing in general for me now is not an individual sport. It's definitely, I'm doing it with other people, and something like Hardrock, absolutely, I wouldn't do it without my pacers or my crew. Like it just.
So who's crewing you then? Who's
Well, I've got Braz, who can't pace, so he's going to crew, and then Dakota and Skaggs, I guess, will be there, and a couple of other Durango buddies, so it's going to be great. Yeah.
You might be tempted to stop at Grouse and have some fun, because
I'll just have to block my ears and ignore them. Although, last year at Telluride, when Ricky was there playing the accordion in my ears, I didn't hear a thing. I didn't even know he was there, so I might not notice it at all.
Well, best of luck out there, and have fun.
You too. Good luck.
And a bonus question for you, Anna.
Oh.
What's been your favorite part of training this year? Like, what have you enjoyed? What's a moment or a day?
Gosh, I think probably getting up on handies is always my favorite part, when you actually finally break through the snow, get up there. You're at the highest point of the course, and that's where I fell in love with Hardrock, when I was standing up there and realized, holy shit, this is Hardrock. So yeah, I think that's the best part for me.
Nice. Thank you, Anna.
Thanks.